better position to
trying to get him.
Oh, an attempted pull off one knee by Warner. Because Vittoria's come around a wicket, not much chance of getting any LBW or anything. Most things are pitching outside leg stump.
Composure will be.
It really wasn't quite pulling.
God, that was a dreadful ball.
It was a dreadful ball, a dreadful shot though, really. Why wasn't there for that? It's aerial! Oh, no! Warner's got away. The horrible shot. Big fat outside as he tried to heave it through the offside on a cut. There wasn't enough pace on the ball. He spooned it up to what was a short third man straight backward gully, kinda.
All the time for New Zealand to start dropping catches.
Well, it wasn't quite there. It was a diving one-handed attempt. Did he actually get it? He did.
Oh, you can't get that a drop, for goodness sake.
Professional level, you'd hope to hang on to that.
I've seen Trent Bolt pull off some catches like that.
Just out of his reach, it was literally fingertips.
That's unbelievably high.
And Warner got back for 2 runs.
I'm gathering.
We've seen New Zealand's fielding standards.
That's not a drop. The only place that is a drop is if you are on a cricket tour and you are looking to get somebody for fines and they're one of the best players in the team and you've got to get something on them to get some money out.
This sounds a little bitter.
No, it's not. I wish I was that good to be in that position, but we have a guy who's a left-arm spinner, very good batsman, and that was all we could get on him last tour. It was a catch like that, and he got fined a tenner just for that, because that was the only thing we had on him.
Trent Bolt is that good. I've seen him pull absolutely insane catches.
That is one of the big things that seems to change from 10 years ago, from watching people at Harmless and Lumber running out for bowlers these days as fielders.
Yeah.
And I instantly think of Anderson for England as well. That's changed. That really has changed a lot.
Even Scooter says
and when you really look at the fact that their ranks are up there, that their strike rates are both almost near 100, that spells it out. England now are all about the attack.
He gets so much stick as well. He really does. I think he gets a very rough deal.
If you listen to Asif, it's ODI cricket, that particular game in the World Cup.
Yeah, well, it was the same thing. He kind of gets left in the lurch all the time. So he gets himself into comes in down the orders. He comes in impossibly irrecoverable positions, and then
gets
gets blamed for it all.
At the end of this over, Bolt comes in bowl. That's leg side. Throws the kitchen sink at it.
Absolutely, and what it
Watson, and it goes down to a long leg for a single. At the end of this over, me, Michael, Ditch are going to leave. Yeah, we're all going to leave, and those three are going to come in. Roger's going to do the commentary, and Avi, you're going to do tweets. I'm sorry I'm doing this on air to everybody out there, you know what it's like. And your man Tim will just sit in.
If they're listening.
That's production notes done for you all.
Tony Kimmy, meanwhile, says, good morning, people. Anyone reminded of Australia versus India over the past 3 months?
His consistency certainly has come to the party. Look who's warming up behind us.
Wow, that's beating the outside edge.
Stealing in a little bit, of course, the Aussie fast bowlers have to play a crucial role to make those breakthroughs. But of course, Mitchell Stark once again.
If Bolt couldn't catch it,
he's got the experience in these sort of situations to be able to defend.
I mean, it was literally.
He swings a new ball. He wants swing. If he gets swing, he bowls at pace. It would have been an absolute. It would have been the catch of the tour. Catch of 7 tour. But if there's no swing,
this actually reminded me a little bit of India Australia 2003 World Cup final, where Australia went off like a train.
Yeah, they've reined it in really nicely. Actually, this is not too bad now.
Defended out through cover. Didn't really move his feet well and prodded at it really.
Yes, and it has to be down to the Australia's bowler because they're the ones who have to keep Australia alive in this competition. It's crucial from that point of view. Pat Cummins, as far as we're concerned, really here, he could just very well be the X
Last
factor.
5 overs, 16 for none.
Against the English top order as well.
Saudi did not do.
But over the last two, 3 matches,
Tories
he's not found
helped.
his rhythm.
I wish
He's
he'd
not
done that
found his line
against
and length. I would say that
Moe
he's
didn't nick one.
He's the more danger bowler for England
No,
than
really
Pat
well.
Cummins because the consistency with
Yes,
Bell
did.
looked
he is
odd.
the length. And
Yeah.
Quite
that
effective.
length always
Well, yeah, I mean, they got a decent score at the start. They lost those wickets all year. They didn't really get a big score.
That
one played out the leg side, but off the pan, offside.
England aren't in a position to say only anybody at the minute. They're that kid at the they're that kid searching around the charity shop. They'll
I
take
think
anything.
tonight's game, big game. It's a big game against Sri Lanka. They've got a good chance against Sri Lanka.
Steve Smith has to be quite
Haven't played
articulate
too well,
about
I mean,
that.
yeah,
He has to, but I
fine.
think the damage has to be done with the new ball. Zampa will be used after power play, say around the 15, between the 15 and the
Mahalan decided Tara Pereira's
Three
probably
fast
runs.
bowlers have
Dilshan got 160.
Oh, yes, they smacked me.
I think he's got to play
Absolutely
the
mullered
role
some Zimbabwe.
exactly what
No, I think it was
would did for
Zimbabwe.
England. You know, he has to bowl with pace,
Couldn't have
mix
been
his legs
Afghanistan.
up.
They played somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they played Pakistan and gave them a scare.
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, that's it. That's been pulled down towards long leg. That's going to be 4 runs, 68 for 1 Australia. The end of my spell, and there's going to be a big change.
Firepower, really, Lakshmi, to chase this down. So what do you want to see from them today?
No complacency at all, and the way they bowled, the way they came back, even after that partnership between
As
French and
I am joined, there is people sitting down to my right, and on your Bull by Goal duties will be resplendent in an old school Kiwi shirt, Roger McCann.
Good evening, thank you, Michael. Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be listening to us. I'm delighted to be joined by Tim, to my immediate right. Hello, Tim, making his debut. And he's come as buddies of our good friend Avi, who's going to work the tweets over there. Avi, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, you're looking dapper as ever.
Thanks very much.
So where did you dredge Tim up from? Tell us about it. I know he's a big hands man.
He's a very big hands man.
Yeah. Are you old buddies?
Old buddies. He's a friend of one of my cousins' mates as well. A friend of a friend, as usual.
Good stuff. Well, we're delighted to have you on board, Tim, as Daniel Vittori is continuing the evergreen, bespectacled darling, and he's pushed to mid-off with no run by Warner. The Aussies are 68 for 1 here in the 11th over Watson and Warner, two of our favourites. And there's a little dab here from Davey Warner, a single on the leg side. Knuckle, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks. Yes, after a very long weekend first, we get to the best part of the first hour of the week to recover from it. Now I'm back into no sleep again.
Yeah, it's going to be a big old weekend. Don't forget all that rugby that we need to watch as well.
Yep.
There's plenty of sport for our boys to digest.
It's a League Cup final as well.
I don't care about the League Cup final.
Right.
Vittori continues. He's round the wicket to Watson. He's cramping for him.
India
He can't
का
get a run.
fastest network कौन सा है? Obviously mine is
Yeah,
fastest.
Spurs.
This network
Chelsea.
is the fastest.
Chelsea.
I told you मेरा network late. Just get it. Impossible. 8 minutes.
As one of my fellow Arsenal supporting friends said, the best thing that could happen is a sinkhole opening up under Wembley.
है ना?
Maybe here comes Vittori. Quite sort
Ookla ने
of
साबित किया है कि
90s
इंडिया
style
का
specs, but
fastest
he's on the
mobile
money.
network सिर्फ Airtel है.
Vittori might have upgraded the
अब और क्या बोलना
some
बाकी है?
tortoise shells or something these days.
I think there's a branding thing going on there. I think he's been it's brand Vittori.
Oh, you think so?
I don't think they're actually brand.
All
I
right,
think
he
it's
should do. He should do that. So anyway, he's giving up a run to Watson with the fifth ball over. Gentle little single down to wide mid on.
Range of hero monsters where the year in Australia or something.
New Zealand, yeah. Put it this way. I don't think he's had to pay for them.
Well, and certainly Beard of the year for good.
Maybe those New Zealand Specsavers that.
Oh, when he had his full thing, that was a magnificent piece of thing. But
He's just an all-round lovely even as he bowls round the wicket side to the left-hander. Warner can't get a single, just 2 from it from Dan, and there's 70 for 1 from 11. The key is reining them in a good bit here. Are there any tweets for us?
Well, I don't know where we got to.
The tweets,
But we'll go for Scott. Just imagine how fun this game would be if it's being played in front of 7 people and 3 dogs at the Basin Reserve. Well, we'll spend the evening time. Hashim Jika says, are you covering the big game of the day? India versus UAE? No, I don't think we are.
We'll give you updates, certainly.
it'll be on while we're doing the second bit of this game.
Is it in Perth?
Yeah,
It is in Perth, so it starts at
Starts at
well, I was
6.
going to say a normal hour, but that feels like a normal hour. 6:30, I believe.
Yeah, so the answer is we won't be hanging around to bring you the inevitable 331 run victory conclusion to that one.
There has been talk that if India bat first, they might get 500.
Yeah,
Which I think is probably,
I'd love to see that.
it's probably pushing it a little bit.
our favourite air traveller is back to resume the
My
bowling.
daughter lives in the
This
US.
man. It's good.
I haven't seen
I've got no idea what that jingle is or what it refers to. It was new, so I tried it. We'll go back to the other
We'll
one.
have to Knowles on that one. Oh, that's wide from Southie. It'll be called as such, you'd imagine. They're stretching the retake. Let's check from the umpire. Check from the jungle machine. No, you might have got
Yeah. They just
Do we think England have made Southie look better than he actually is?
No. Saudi's a very, very good bowler.
I like him. Well, I just seen the first
Gain new confidence.
To make my dreams come true.
And given me a new way to fulfill my ambitions.
Endure amongst
Some of the deliveries he pulled out against England were extraordinary.
Yeah, he's back into the attack with Watson. Missed that.
Double.
Well said, sir. No, I mean, Southie, funny enough, I saw a tweet from our good friend Atif Nawaz, who he likes how Southie juggles filth with magic, and rather than Bowie would rather see that than a whole lot of length stuff that might get deposited, but his figures aren't too healthy. 33 from his 3 overs. He's in again. And this one's full with a hint of swing. But Watson drives pleasingly through extra cover. It won't go to the ropes. I don't think it's a chase. It has to be by B-Mac.
No one else.
And yes, they haul it in.
50 overs stands between Australia and possible
McCullough appears to be killing everyone on the pitch at the same time.
Yeah, he's something else. And he's, I mean, talk about guys that have been around
so England need 278 to win.
He's probably got he's so fit. He's just sort of.
He'll probably will play forever.
Yeah, he's
one of those players, but he'll be too.
I don't remember him ever being injured.
No, that's exactly that. He just and he wicket keeps as well for so long. He doesn't seem to make any effect on him whatsoever.
Yeah, he made his ODI debut in 2002. Good lord.
Yeah, this one's filled on the pads of Watson, and he'll get at least one, and they'll come back for 2. But it was at Vittori, just like old-legged in the field, so they're able to get 2.
We are back. That was the dulcet tones of Roger McCann you were listening to just then.
And the less dulcet tones of Michael McCann, I think, buried in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him?
Whatever happened to him?
So, the state of the game is that England need 278 runs to win and officially knock Australia out of the Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
Australia really do have it up against them. They lost 4 for 5 for 15 in a stretch in the last 10 overs. A little bit of late hitting from Travis Head got them up to a vaguely defensible total.
Blimey, yeah, without him.
Yeah, they're really struggling. The only contributions were him, Aaron Finch, and Steve Smith. But I think England can be reasonably confident of chasing 278 given their recent form. But it is a defensible total, and Australia do have a very good bowling attack. One of whom will be opening up now.
You want him?
Yeah,
let's have him.
You can't win the Ashes without your best players on the box. Drop Mitchell Johnson and bring in Mitchell Stark.
Yep, we go with the bowler first because the England openers are only just making their way onto the field of play.
LED TV
and Oppo
camera phone.
One going through some little side-to-side warm-ups, the other one just doing a little bit of jogging. Mitchell Stark is squatting at the end of his run-up.
Are they doing a little bit of banter there between the?
Yeah, the two openers flanked David Warner as they were wandering onto the field, and there was a little bit of chat. Shall we identify them in musical form?
Yes. Going to keep talking or fiddle around?
Yep, they're in alphabetical order.
Are they? Oh.
Number 6 and number 11.
Here we go with number 6.
Hails, the gang's all here. What a extra weekend, what a extra weekend. Hails, the gang's all here. What a extra weekend now.
And partnering up.
Duckworth Lewis loves you. The clouds part for you. Nothing stands in your way when you're a Roy.
Yeah, it'll be Jason Roy facing up. He's obviously under his place under scrutiny. Alex Hales, not so much. Alex Hales has been in very good form throughout the Champions Trophy and during the ODI series against South Africa. Here we go. Mitchell Stark, left arm over. 2 slips in play up to the crease now. Bowls a full toss, which is punched nicely down the ground. That'll give Jason Roy some confidence. Punches it into the ground. It bounces and skitters past mid-off, who's up, of course, and slightly wider. Perfect start for Jason Roy. Doing that Jason Roy thing of hitting it hard into the wicket, and then letting it bounce over the fielder. Stark just over pitching with that one, looking to obviously bowl full and swing it back into the right-hander, which he does there. Traps Jason Roy in front. There's a massive LBW shout. Donovan Sainer gave it a little bit of a delay, but the finger goes up. Roy's so confident that he pitched outside leg that he's reviewed it on the run. I think that can be the only thing that saved him. Roy reviewed it immediately. I have to say my initial thought was that it had pitched slightly outside leg, but we will see. Certainly not a no ball on the front foot from Mitchell Stark. He's straddled the line.
Because it has to be completely outside leg stump, doesn't it? Umpire's call doesn't save it?
I don't believe so. I don't really see how there can be an umpire's call on where it's pitched, to be honest. There's not a judgment call, is it? It's... that's just slow motion footage. Roy completely fell over.
That was definitely out. Was that definitely out? I don't know.
It's certainly hitting leg stump. It did move back into the right-handed Jason Roy a little bit. Trapped him on the front pad on the knee roll. Didn't quite get forward and rather collapsed over his shot. There isn't an inside edge.
He is nowhere near that ball.
No, it is. It moved a little bit. It's not done anything extravagant, but he's played all round that really. Around his front pad. Certainly no bat involved. He was pushing at it rather, trying to come round that front pad and not able to do so.
Isn't it?
It is pitched in line.
Goodbye.
It is hit him in front of middle and leg. It's taking middle and leg. Jason Roy's Champions Trophy continues to be disappointing. I can see why he reviewed it.
Where is your head at, Jason?
His head was outside off stump and the ball was crashing into middle of the leg, unfortunately.
I just hope we don't get a bad decision throughout the course of the innings. That review is gone now.
That is the review gone. I can, to be honest, I thought it had pitched slightly outside leg as well, but Don Messina didn't, and that's all that mattered. 4 for 1. What a start for Mitchell Stark.
Yeah.
And for Australia. What does the Twitter sphere say about that?
The Twitter sphere, Greg, 1 down, 9 to go, you effing beauty, Stark.
Yeah, he's a very, very fine bowler. Has an incredible average and strike rate in this form. Taking some way over 2 wickets a game, which is very impressive by the standards of one-day international cricket, where I think sort of 2 a game is a mark of a good bowler.
Any more tweets?
We got anything else?
No, that is all there is.
Bloody hell! Come on, Twitter sphere. We all still at lunch.
Come on, we can answer questions. We can deal with general advice, whatever you want. Come and tweet us.
Come by,
Twitter sphere. Come by.
Are we actually live on Facebook, Clive?
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm not seeing us on the page.
Oh, it's on the phone. We're a bit buggered because the Bears got to see a man about a dog, isn't it?
Yeah, but as has been the way of this home series, this man is at the crease very early.
You can commentate.
Yeah, a definite swing from Mitchell Stark into the right-handed batsman, but it was 2-leg sidey, and Root can easily clip that round the corner for 1 down to long leg. He's off the mark. England 5 up 4-1.
Oh dear.
Greg is in fighting form. 1 drink for every wicket. I think that's the only option, or 1 drink per over. What do you guys think?
A drink and over might be pushing it.
I reckon. Be safe. One drink per wicket. That way you can have, I don't know, 3 or 4 drinks.
In comes Mitchell Stark up to the wicket now. Bowls. Alex Hales facing up to his first one, not really forward to it, and jabs the bat down into the offside. That one, if anything, just slightly left Alex Hales off the seam, perhaps. Really toe end that one out into the offside. There is no run. Stark's on the money straight away here.
He is. He didn't look comfortable, did he?
No, he's bowling full, he's bowling fast, he's bowling straight. It's going to be a little bit tricky. Australia are going to give this everything with Stark and Cummins and Hazelwood early on. England's just going to have to ride this out, one suspects. In comes Mitchell Stark now. Lovely shot from Alex Hales, but straight to mid-off, a confident front foot drive. He looks in as good a nick as I think I've seen him in his England's career. He got a good stride into that one, unlike Jason Roy, who went absolutely nowhere to do that length delivery, which was revealed by DRS, or confirmed perhaps, to be crashing into the top of middle and leg.
He's running, and then renewed.
You hope that that might be the end of Roy, semi-final awaits, but
it could well be. Outside off stump, Hales forward again, pushing up to mid-off. That is the end of a dramatic first over. It started with a glorious straight drive. It was followed up by a plum LBW after one, chasing 278 to win. England are 5 for 1.
Well, I know we talked about it earlier, but how long can England persist? He's not in form.
Well, it's the opinion of First We Take Manhattan. Just drop Roy already. It is just an exercise in selection sadism at this point. Nick Nelson says
it's Wenger-esque.
Nick Nelson says that he makes a pit stop for breakfast and to catch the first over outside the car, and look what happens. You can't take your eyes and ears off us for a moment. And Dave Emery's turns around and says, "We killed the cheese on toast chat, and now you want tweets. Stop oppressing us." Sorry. Help, look at the violence inherent in the system.
So it's Stark from the pavilion end, and rather arthritically, we have a bowler coming in who will jingle up in a second from the Birmingham end. It wasn't the most fluent of run-ups. It's very full, though, on off stump, and Root jabs the bat down, and that picks up a single into the covers. We'll have some music maestro.
He once hit keys with his stumps. He must be good. Josh Hazelwood,
the number 5 ranked ODI bowler in the world.
The baby.
Very accurate, little bit of seam movement either way, a decent pace. He has 2 slips as well. In he comes, right arm over to Alex Hales, facing up with his 4th ball, and he's nicked it straight to slip.
My God.
It loops to Aaron Finch, who takes it off his shoelaces. Hazelwood and Stark a wicket apiece. Australia on fire. England 6 for 2. It was a pretty decent delivery from Josh Hazelwood, just finding that in-between length. It just held its line. Hales pushed at it, slightly hard hands, and it carried just about to Aaron Finch. Hazelwood is delighted. England have lost both their openers within 8 balls.
That is, not good.
Greg, that is one more drink for you.
Yeah, go on, Greg.
Go on, Greg. Drink, Greg.
Greg, what are you drinking? Tea?
A small sherry.
An aperitif.
England displaying some of the dead roveritis they exhibited against South Africa in that demolition job at Lord's.
So some tweets, Ravi Nair. I suspect Morgan will still prefer Roy over YJB. I'm supposing that must be young Johnny Bairstow for the semis.
Yeah, but why? He's not in form.
Yeah, I can. That actually point about selectoral sadism. It is almost cruel on Jason Roy at this point, because it's doing serious damage to his potential future prospect, potentially.
Yeah.
Would it be Bairstow coming into open, or do you open with Moeen and have Bairstow in the middle order?
We've got a question of from Whitey that turns around and says, new crew. I've already answered this question, so it's for you guys. Opinions on a relationship with a man 35 and a woman 54?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Consenting adults.
Consenting adults, yes. You can be 206 at this point. It really doesn't matter.
We have a new batsman. It's the captain.
Old O'Connor had a farm. E-I-O and Morgan.
Smith going for the kill. 3 slips in now, but that's far too wide and easily left alone by Owen Morgan through to the keeper. There is no run. that angle from Hazelwood was pretty much perfect. He came in from slightly wide of the crease, angling it into Alex Hales, got the ball to move away. It's in many ways it's a classic opening bowler's dismissal. But Hales slightly indeterminate footwork, but really it was a very good ball. Morgan hesitantly forward, pushing to cover, wasn't really committed to that shot, to be honest. Hazelwood has just found his length immediately, getting these England batsmen half forward and slightly tentative. The two openers have failed to get through the early storm. How will England's upper middle order fare? You suspect if they can get to 15 overs, only 2 down, things might just start to settle down a little bit, get through Stark and Hazelwood and Cummins' opening spell. Morgan sort of half advances at Hazelwood there, but leaves alone straight through to Matthew Wade, who takes with a skip and a shout. There is no run. Lots of life and energy from the Aussie keeper in Slip Gordon.
Morgan's doing the golfer thing where he's kind of checking his technique, because he always doesn't seem quite happy with something at the moment.
Yeah, well, he left it alone and then practiced an entirely different shot. What have we got? We've got 3 slips. Third man is back. Long leg is back. There's a big gap at square leg. There's a man at backward point, man at cover point. Mid on, mid off. Good carry from Josh Hazelwood. Matthew Wade takes really around sort of chin height, but it was wide of off stump. Morgan leaves. Success for Hazelwood, success for Stark. After 2, England 6 for 2.
Greg says at this rate I'm going to be effing hammered at 2 down, 8 to go. You beauty!
You beauty!
Mark Zip says, sorry all, I'll claim that one. It fell exactly as I tuned in. First We Take Manhattan has got some emojis that are effectively, I think, saying that Bangladesh are on their knees in prayer. Paul Howarth thought Australia were skinny at 6-4 at half time, but still had a Judas insurance bet. Bet with the head, not with the heart. Yeah, that's always the case.
That's the misery hedge.
Yeah. Mark Zip and a nation groans. Unfortunately, that nation is Bangladesh.
In comes Mitchell Stark to Joe Root, 2 off 2, forward, half forward rather, and pushing to cover point. There is no run. Very full from Mitchell Stark.
Greg is drinking Mercury hard cider.
Oh, bloody hell! Never heard of it.
Never heard of it, but sounds like it's not going to do you any harm or any good, for that matter.
Hard cider.
Jane with a Y's got a couple of points. Don't despair, this has parallels with yesterday. England's middle order will see them home, unlike New Zealand's middle order, which literally saw them home. And then Jane with a Y talks about that she has to wait another 4 months to see her side play again.
In comes Mitchell Stark, full and wide, and 2 wide for Joe Root to bother with. Through to Matthew Wade on the dive. There is no run. Yeah, I do believe Jane's going to see some of the Caribbean Premier League games in Florida, which will feature some notable black caps.
Cricket 365 says FFS for Flintoff's sake. England, you had one job. One job. Jeff Perkins says, ha! Get through Stark, Hazelwood and Cummings and prepare to face the wrath of Enriquez.
Oh, I thought he was going to say Adam Zampa. Just the 2 slips for Mitchell Stark to Joe Root. This one is very full and across Root, who pushes up to mid-off. There is no run.
Is it true to know Adam Zampa is to be scared of Adam Zampa?
Very possibly.
To be terrified.
Despite his 80s power metal hair.
Indeed. Dr. Dan Diper sent us a sketch of Liam Plunkett catching Steve Smith.
Very good.
Which I shall
retweet.
We have Finch at first slip and Smith at second slip. Mitchell Stark collar flapping in the Warwickshire breeze up to the wicket now, and bowls are very full, and Root digs the point out up to Cummins at mid on. Stark going for that in-swinging Yorker. Root's been equal to the task thus far. He is 2 off 6. Morgan yet to score. Stark doesn't look particularly happy about life, given that he's bowling extremely well. He doesn't. The Aussies aren't quite their full exuberant selves. Smith rubs his hands at second slip. In comes Mitchell Stark now. He's up to the wicket and he bowls outside off stump, and a glorious drive from Joe Root. It was a wide half volley, and Joe Root said, you can't bowl there to me, son. Just push this one out past cover point for the first one of these of the innings. Second apology, of course. Roy did drive the first ball of the innings for fourth, but no, nicely played by Joe Root, getting nicely fully forward despite the excellence of Stark's bowling thus far, and punishing the bad ball. Good early signs for Joe Root.
Well, not forget Mog's special folder of boundaries.
No, indeed. Last ball of the third over. Stark in bowls, full and wide again, trying to tempt Root into something injudicious. But he is not tempted. After 3 overs, England are 10 for 2.
Mayank asks, when does the Caribbean Premier League start? Maybe I'll go to Florida too.
I do not know.
We don't know. Whitey says that Root has a great record against Australia, and that could be the difference. It needs to be the difference pretty damn quick.
He's got a pretty good record against everyone, I suspect.
Yes.
You know, it's not a crisis yet, but it's a wobbly start, certainly.
Wobble.
There's always this.
Poor Sterling!
Indeed.
Quite. In comes Josh Hazlewood. Morgan half forward, pushes to Moises Henriques at cover point, and there is no run.
There's always time for Paul Sterling.
Fallen significantly against the dollar. Joe Root's deep in conversation with the umpire about something or other. Really not entirely sure what's going on. The umpire says...
well, he's saying this isn't fair.
The umpire appears to be telling him to get on with it.
No, it's not fair.
Is that Chris Gaffney at this end?
You've got 2 wickets. It's not fair.
In comes Hazlewood to Morgan, who comes down the track and smashes it through the offside. A little bit of wrist work to get it past mid-off. Early signs of aggression from England's captain. 4 runs.
And random Mog 4 jingle coming up.
I know you count it, you're all about it. You want to shout it, count the 4 times.
Nice bit of improvisation from Morgan there, because he almost yorked himself coming down the track and had to really scoop it out with that bottom hand and open the face to get it past mid-off. Interesting signs indeed. Morgan trying to take the fight perhaps back to Australia. This is short and cut hard by Morgan. Actually, I think it went through cover point. Henriquez got a hand on it, but couldn't do anything about it. Poor fielding, poor bowling, great shot. I was slightly harsh on Henriques there, actually. It was some way wide of him.
You know what I think our listeners would love?
Yeah?
Is YouTube clips of Mog and Jeff Perkins sort of creating their jingles.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see it, you know?
Like one of those classic albums series.
Yeah. In the studio, you know, with his cans on and his producer.
Hazlewood's come round the wicket now from the Birmingham end to the left-handed Owen Morgan. In bowl, that side off stump, and hit hard by Morgan off the front foot, but this time straight at Henriques. And there is no run. Henriques has been doing all the, either fielding or watching, as it were, in this over. Everything's gone in that cover point region.
Henriques. Is he of French descent?
Portuguese. Born on Madeira.
Oh, lovely.
The birthplace also of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Indeed.
Morgan, a couple of bat taps, raises the bat, stands very still at the crease. In comes Hazlewood, bowls, very full, little bit of swing, but lovely from Owen Morgan. It wasn't quite a Yorker. Morgan just held his shape, pushed it fine of the straight rather of the man up at mid on 3 fours in 4 balls for the England captain.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Lovely stuff from Morgan. There was a little bit of movement away from the left-hander, but he held his shape on the on-drive, just pushed it wider than on-striker, and mid-on had no chance. England 22 for 2. Last ball of the 4th over is... has that been dropped by Matthew Wade? I think Morgan may have gloved this down the leg side. It was a short ball down leg. The oohs and ahs suggest that there might have been a bit of bat or glove on that. And Wade flung himself to his right, but couldn't cling on. I'm pretty sure Morgan's been dropped 24 for 2 after 4.
Sweet.
Well, there's a couple of tweets. Greg is turning around and saying he personally can't wait for the collapse of the year. Then he says he's not sure that the only counter for jingle is Mog unless he's responsible for a YouTube video which he sent us. Jane with a Y says two T20 double headers and Saturday and Sunday, 5th to 6th of August, Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana, and St. Kitts and Nevis. No Trinidad and Tobago or St. Lucia, so no Bravo, BMAC, or Sammy.
No.
However, for Jane's purposes, Sanger, Kane, and Guptill.
Oh, lovely. That's 3 batsmen I'd love to. I'd pay the admission for alone. That one's edged short of Finch. Stark continuing to trouble the England batsman just on that indeterminate length. Root pushed at it, but he pushed at it with soft hands. It died before Aaron Finch and scooted through the gap between the slips down to the third man boundary for one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think Al's going to attempt to resuscitate this. I do have the password here, which I can furnish you with in just a second.
Well, is Facebook Live gone off, is it?
It appears so. Root awaits. In comes Mitchell Stark. Forward comes Joe Root and pushes another one through the gap between cover point and backward point. It should be cut off. There's 2 Aussie fielders in attendance. A headlong dive and a flick back, a little bit of relay fielding. But Joe Root has managed to come back to 3. Good commitment from the Aussie fielders, but saving only the 1 run. I think we're going to have a look at this potential Wade drop in just a second. Hazelwood banged it in short. Morgan, it's either off the face of the bat or off the glove, and Wade got 2 hands to it.
Can't see from there.
Oh no, he actually went with 1 hand in there, and he could have gone with 2, and he got most of a hand on it. It just clipped the webbing and skittered through for 4. That is a presentable chance for Matthew Wade. No wonder Hazelwood was so upset. In comes Stark, bangs his one into Morgan, who defends on the back foot into the offside. There is no run out. Just furnishing him with the password for the Facebook Live computer, and we'll try and get that back up and running for those of you who love watching a radio show.
Who love watching a lot of blokes sitting around and a woman.
Stark receives the ball, flung in from one of the infielders, attempts to shine it on those canary yellow trousers. In he comes now from the pavilion end. He's at the top of his run. Morgan awaits up to the wicket now, bowled back of a length, and Morgan just defends into the offside. There is no run. Morgan staying very much leg side of the ball, and just open the window again, just to let some air into this room, in the immortal words of Tom Jones. Morgan staying very much leg side of the ball and he's been trying to push pretty much everything through cover point and backward point so far. Nothing funky over the leg side, as we see a disconsolate and rather shaggy looking Jason Roy on the England balcony, who's consoling himself with a cup of tea. In comes Stark, full and swinging, and again driven through the offside, but good bit of fielding by Glenn Maxwell, obviously one of the world's best fielders, flinging himself to his left and getting 2 hands to it to save an almost certain boundary. Morgan didn't quite time that as well as he might have liked, but he's still got a lot of the bat on it.
Australia throwing the kitchen sink at England here, and if England can just bat out a bit,
yeah, exactly,
take some sting out of it.
Yeah, the aim's got to be, certainly after 10, no more than 2 down, and probably after 15, you get into Zampa and and a couple of the part-time, part-timers, and Reeks, I guess, would be the part-timer. Lovely shot by Morgan again, pretty much a carbon copy. Another good bit of fielding by Glenn Maxwell, just diving away to his left and getting 2 hands of the ball and hanging on cleanly.
Putting a shift in.
Yeah, he's a wonderful fielder, and guys, one of the quickest arms in world cricket. All action starts to the second innings after 5. England 31 for 2. I will try and read some tweets as well while Al's fiddling with the computer,
I can do
especially as he's got my phone.
Well, I can do it.
We believe we may be back up on Facebook Live. We're trying to get ourselves back up on Facebook Live. I'm not sure if Al's training is complete. Can you get the tweets up on your phone then?
I can't get every them, but I follow most people.
Oh, I think I can. Oh, okay. I think I can do that. Clipped through mid-wicket by Joe Root. A poor bit of fielding by the man at mid-wicket. Who is that? It's I'm not sure who that is actually at mid-wicket there. It's Adam Zampa, and the first ball of Hazelwood, third over, goes 4-2. Yeah, dives straight over the top of the ball.
Big Sexy Barry wants to know why Casey's wearing odd socks. Well, we have explained that. It's to do with her boyfriend.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
No, that's... Oh, God, yeah, sorry. Hang on.
What do we got? Mayank says to Jane that Sanger, Kane and Gupta are more important than Sammy and Bravo anyway. Hazelwood beats Root with a beauty outside off stump. Just getting Root pushing half forward. This is not good news for Australia. The boundary balls are being pushed back. The big cover is being ready. The ground staff at Warwickshire can feel something in their water, and that something is water falling from the sky, potentially. We haven't seen any signs of rain on the camera, but there are a lot of hoots and things going on in the crowd. Possibly a little bit of kidology from the England fans. But the rain is imminent, we think, at Edgbaston. In comes Josh Hazelwood. Down the track comes Owen Morgan. It's a big outshout for LBW. It's been clipped down to fine leg. Good sliding stop from the man coming around from long leg. The signal is run. No, the signal is leg by. So the route was down the track and possibly outside the line of off stump. Interesting to see this again. Australia do not decide to review. Mog says he does all his jingle making nude.
Yeah, that's good. We could be on course for this.
Yeah.
They stopped playing bloody cricket.
Well, Joe Root's wishing they'd stop playing bloody cricket just before that ball. There's another full swing delivery from Josh Hazelwood. Root poked at it. It was a comfortable take for Matthew Wade. Joe Root has gone for 15. Australia have a third.
Batter, batter, batter. Batter, batter, batter. Batter, batter, batter. On your bike, mate. Bye-bye.
I'm not sure why Hazelwood felt the need to appeal there. It was the most obvious. It's quite a thick edge, in fact. Wade took it in front of first slip. Serious trouble now for England. 35 for 3.
The man has gone.
And the other thing is, if this game does get shortened, that is not going to help England's Duckworth Lewis at all.
No.
So, after 5.4 overs, Jason Roy went second ball of the innings, LBW, to Mitchell Stark for 4. He reviewed. It was not overturned. Alex Hales went for a duck, caught at first slip off Josh Hazelwood. Joe Root has gone for 15, caught behind off Josh Hazelwood. Australia's opening bowlers are on fire. England are in trouble. And the Twitter sphere are talking about jingle making in the nude. Jeff Perkins says, when you do it, the jingles have that added frisson of excitement. If I try it, they just end up way too flabby. Mog says it's called hard rock for a reason. Than half an hour. Mark Zip says, just saw the Roy dismissal. He really looked like he had no idea what to do. A man out of form and confidence. Yes, it was a very good delivery as well. Trying to arrest the slide will be this batsman in what is a fair amount of drizzle now, I think, at Edgbaston. Hazelwood wraps him on the pad first ball. I'm pretty sure that's pitched outside leg. I don't think they're going to review this, are they? They're just trying to... It'll be taking up time to be, as much as anything else. It's a left-hander. It's this man.
Ben? Ben Stokes.
Stokes did play all round it, trying to sort of slice that into the mid-wicket region, but I'm fairly sure that pitched outside leg. As was the umpire. The rain is definitely coming down now at Edgbaston.
It is.
Stokes and Morgan just need to stay there long enough to get off the field, only 3 down. In comes Hazelwood, forward comes Stokes, defends back to the bowler, there is no run.
They've got to go off.
The rain's quite heavy now, you can see it you can see it pretty obviously on the camera as Australians raced around to try and get into position. After 6 overs, Australia have England 35 for 3. Mayang says if rain comes before England get to 20 overs and it's washed out, who goes through? That will be England. That will be England top of the group and Bangladesh in second. Sorry? Al has done battle with the Facebook Live computer. There are a few steps. And as we say that, it's just as well we didn't go through all that effort just as the rain came down. Oh, wait. The covers are being brought on. The jingle that Nestle Boy played an over or so ago is relevant once again.
If the rain comes, they stop playing bloody cricket.
And they have. We got the big hover-dover.
Way Pom Pom says, England making an ass of this, let's start doing a rain dance. Jeff Perkins says to Mog, I think your tweet must have distracted Root from concentrating on his batting. Steve Smith is absolutely livid that the rain's come down just as Australia are on a tear.
We can't... who's he blaming?
I think it's just... It must be frustrating for Australia that they've not got a completed game in yet.
They might go out of the competition, and it's not so much about we've gone out without losing a game,
without playing a full game.
Gone out without playing a game.
I mean, the rain is pretty heavy at Edgbaston. The sky doesn't look too terrible, so this might just be a passing shower. We will have to wait and see. But in the meantime, gentlemen, your thoughts?
Well, Australian bowlers on fire, and they'll be gutted about this. I know it's not a word that a lot of people like, but you're taking the momentum out of their attack at the moment by going off, aren't you? My big question, though, is Jason Roy. I think, unless Arsene Wenger is in charge of this side, I can't think why he's still in the side.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some decent deliveries, to be honest. He got 2 crackers from Rabada in the South Africa series. But the numbers are just not in his favour at the moment.
But there's a run machine waiting in the wings, isn't there?
I can give you some weather tweet related to the weather. Mayank says DLS says 112 to win from 20 overs. BBC Weather says it will keep raining now until about 9 p.m.
Jesus Christ.
Which won't get the job done by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, yeah, if that forecast is correct, we may have brought you the last bit of cricket for today.
Dave Emery says Piggy angry at Mother Nature sums him up. I think, I think to be honest, I think we all. We might not sympathise, but I think we can empathise.
Oh no, absolutely. It must be bloody frustrating. And potentially he's thinking, he's there, he can feel the temperature and look up at the sky and say, we might be fucked here and we haven't played a proper match.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the nature of cricket outdoors.
You've got to, can you find a way to laugh it off? I think that's pretty much the only way out, isn't it?
I think you just sort of do this.
As it stands, if they don't come back on, as we said, England will top the group with 5 points. Bangladesh will go through in second with 3 points. England, whatever happens, play in Cardiff on Wednesday against the winner of Group B. Bangladesh playing at Edgbaston on Thursday against the runner-up. Sorry, no, England will play the runner-up of Group B. Bangladesh will play the winner. The umpires are out there with umbrellas, I don't know, guarding the covers against getting stolen or something.
You'd be hard pressed to nick one of them, wouldn't you?
Guardians of the covers.
The full coverings on the tarpaulins on the square are being rolled out. Gents, I think we might have to go to some highlights. I've reached the limits of my wibble.
He's
Greg says that we should ban England from hosting tournaments.
No.
Thanks for playing. Marg, this is my fault. I picked Root in my fantasy team and gave him power player status.
I think a lot of people did. I was locked out of my fantasy team for some reason. The login thing wasn't working, so I haven't been able to make any changes. I can't even remember who I've got in my team for today. If you go to iTunes.
Oh, iTunes. Yeah, I think it was.
As we know more about times of arrival and times of restart, we will of course endeavour to give those to you.
Indeedy. I guess I just press play and it plays all the what's down there, does it?
It'll play from where we pause. Yeah, we're going back to the New Zealand-Australia group game from the last World Cup, which was a cracker.
And you will get the dulcet tones of our good friend from Northern Ireland.
Where in Northern Ireland?
Northern Ireland. And Mr. McCann, who's somewhere off playing his bass, I guess.
Cardiff.
Roger, if you're listening, mate, you're much missed, and we hope to have you back one day. You are one of our favourites. But here we go. It's New Zealand versus Australia, and we'll see you in a bit.
See you soon.
We hope.
Hope so.
Yeah, but McCullum, you feel he's just sort of attained this role of like peak captaincy, and you feel that he can ride this job out for another 3 or 4 years. I mean, imagine if he could capture this pot of the World Cup, then he'd be New Zealand Man of the Year for as long as he wants. As Vittori full and defended, no run.
And they got the Australian take the gloves off him as well, so...
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be an interesting shout if New Zealand win this and then the Rugby World Cup between him and McCaw or Carter.
Yeah.
I mean, McCaw and Carter have had their turn. It's time to give it to
Exactly. On this very surface, isn't it? Eden Park?
It was indeed.
I'm still angry with the Frenchies.
It was an awful game.
They rolled
awful game of rugby.
What was that? Was it 9-6?
9-8.
9-8. Yeah.
But I've got a fear on that, which I'll get to after this ball. So I think chugs in, one armband in his left wrist, and this one's chopped down to third line for a single. The thing, my anger with the French for that Rugby World Cup is they'd already met in the group, do you remember? And the All Blacks had worn black and blah, blah, blah. So when I came to the final, I was delighted. I was like, brilliant, the All Blacks, they're going to have to change their kit. But the French president said, oh, no, we would not dream of letting the All Blacks not play in their iconic, their black strips, of course, the trophy in their own country. And as soon as you say that, you've given up the game. I was furious with the French for doing that.
What was the score in the group?
Well, it's not like the French to surrender, is it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It was 33-0 or something. They were nilled in the group. I'm pretty sure they were 21-0.
That was like England in the other World Cup.
Yeah.
South Africa.
Yeah. Warner's defending, so I think for no run it's the end of the 12th, 76 for one. Yes, let's continue to talk rugby. I think
to this day I don't know how England got to the final of the 2007 World Cup. They were awful. They were dreadful.
Yeah. It was as if no one else noticed they were still in it.
They'd been dreadful for the kind of in the Six Nations for the last the 2007-2006, where they were god awful.
A bloke called Wilkinson and a bunch of chunky forwards.
Jason Robinson on half a leg.
Yeah.
We've just about this in the defender. We got some tweets here.
Oh, please, have it, yes.
Okay.
Maybe they might even be about cricket.
Yep, they might be. Tanya Kinney says, would completely agree with you, Knuckle, about the sinkhole in Wembley idea. I'm not behind it.
It's a god-awful ground. It's a dreadful,
it's an awful ground
to watch anything from.
Ewan says, that many dogs? I think we were about the Basin Reserve comment earlier. Magnificent piece of facial furniture, Knuckle. Oh, the irony.
Yeah, I know.
With your terrible stubble...
This is single. The bearded Vittori is continuing, and Watson gets a single. The thing is with Knuckle, I think he wakes up with a beard and then he sort of goes in reverse. He doesn't grow a beard.
Doesn't get a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
4 a.m.
He's just continually just
shedding.
Is that fair?
It's not far from the truth, actually.
The Benjamin Button beards.
Vittori's round the wicket to Warner, who plays this from the crease but with a flourish. He just gets a single out to the sweeper.
I think it's a reference to my previous look.
Yeah, it was thick. Any other tweets, Alvin?
Yep, Vittori appears in adverts for opticians in New Zealand.
Good.
Ravi Nair. So Vittori equals good, Warner equals arse, Xavier Doherty equals good, Zahir Abbas good.
Yes, random. Yeah. Oh, bespectacled cricketers. Yeah.
Is Xavier Doherty playing glasses?
I don't think so. There was a single to Watson down to mid-off, by the way.
Xavier Doherty is the most neck cricketer.
He's got bigger problems than glasses, hasn't he? So.
Yeah. Is he playing in this game?
No.
Squad.
Lovely straight back from Warner in defence, but straight back to Vittori.
No, he beat out Nathan Lyon for the role of non-playing spinner of this World Cup squad. It's a shame. I'm a big Nathan Lyon fan.
I can't believe Lyon after the Test series didn't get a go in the squad.
Here's Vittori. Oh, an aggressive intent from Warner, but he sort of digs out a Yorker length. He came down the track, gets a single too long on. I think I'm going to be commentating on a lot of singles here for the next little while, so keep the beard chat coming, or the bespectacled chat.
Or the rugby
Speaking
chat.
of which, here comes the bear. Reaching, and he's changing the temperature for us. Thanks very much.
Nice. Get our nipples out.
Man, he always sustains that nice salt and pepper, rugged kind of. Looks like he hasn't shaved, but you know that he's always just tending it, so it's just so rugged. Look, the aerial from Watson. It's caught. He's out. Deep mid wicket, takes the catch. Victory strikes. Victorious. It was short. He went back. He lapped it straight to Tim Southey down on the boundary. Not a convincing innings from Watson, and I think we can say we're all delighted to see the back of him. 80 for 2.
Someone press back up, please. Strangled.
Well, yeah, it was dragged down. It was there to be slapped, and Watson went back, but he picked out the man. Southey went to his right, took it on his knees. It was a good catch. Vittori Watson all the way, clenches his fists in delight. Watson in the background is ropeable, and he's gone. But yeah, crestfallen. 23.
He's
pretty miserable innings.
He's killed the momentum somewhat.
What do you think? Vittori back off now and then someone else on? Or?
No, keep him on. Keep the strangle on for a little bit.
Yeah, but Clark always goes in with his reputation of such a good player as spin, and sort of being able to sort of rotate the strike.
Well, he was before his back started seizing up properly when he could actually move his feet, because he is pretty good.
Well, he told us he's the fittest he's been for 5 years.
Yeah. While we sleep, he trains.
Yeah, he told everyone to shut up, didn't he, when they kept... I think that was the only question in his press conference.
Are you sleeping?
It's not just...
It's a stupid thing to say. We assume he's coming in next anyway.
Yes, you would think so. The big story, of course, in Australia, who haven't played for 2 weeks, don't forget, was the recovery of Clark, who was always scheduled to come back.
He was fit for the Bangladesh game.
Well, yes, yes.
Yeah, he was picked for the game. But this is essentially they're unchanged from the game that didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's what he said. One change to the team when he came out with the toss.
Captain in, captain out, sort of thing.
Yeah, indeed. It's Captain Pup.
Used to live in Bondi and a flat
Back to the cricket.
He's out before his jingle's even halfway through. I'm going to let this play. Oh, it's someone else.
It's the other bowler.
It's Warner.
Michael Clark.
Knock it off, Knuckle. We've got crucial news to report. Crucial news. The first ball of the next over was bowled by Tim Southey. He trapped Davy Warner on the crease. He was the finger shot up. He has been reviewed. It's not a no ball.
I was definitely in. Were you definitely in? I don't know.
He was back on the crease, jumping back. It looked...
Isn't this all a ball too late? Shouldn't Watson be reviewing after being given LBW?
I think Watson has reviewed it.
It's a Watson review.
Little high?
Watson was still on the pitch. He turned around and said, "Quick, mate. Give it a go. I'm still here. I can influence this game."
Well, he's not hit it.
No inside edge.
It's going to be a question of height, but that could be trimming the leg bail. I think it's pitched in line.
Well, it could be an umpire's call, definitely. You're right.
If it's umpire's call, he's gone. I don't think this is clearing by much.
The Kiwis were cock a hoop as the finger went up.
What's Warner about 5? He's only about 5'7", isn't he? So
he's a little taller than that, but he's not tall.
Yeah, he's not.
It's just above the knee roll. He's
pint size.
He's on his tippy toes. He has played outside the line of it. There's definitely no inside edge. So did it pitch in line?
Yep.
It did.
It's gone.
Hit him in line. It's trimmed the bail! And Davy Warner's on his way. It has just clipped the top of the middle bail, and new Kiwis have struck twice in 2 balls. Richard Illingworth, you're dead right. Oh, the Auckland crowd are on their feet. The Beige Brigade, the Orange Brigade, the Black and Silver Brigade, the White and Gold Brigade,
the Aquamarine Brigade.
Yeah. Warner's gone for 34. LBW Southey, the man, strikes the seamer.
So after a pretty awful start, New Zealand are right in this.
Yeah.
Oh, they've turned it right around.
Southey, despite the fact he's actually bowled probably as bad as he's ever bowled in international cricket, is ripping through the top order.
He's doing it again, possibly.
He's doing it again. Is he the man of the tournament? Oh, what scenes out there, the beautiful blue sky. There must be.
He must be kicking clear as the top wicket taker now.
Yeah, I'd imagine so, yes.
What was his odds? What was his odds? Pre-tournament?
Start of the tournament. Good, but not...
I think it's about... must have been quite high, 40s or 40 plus.
Really?
Yeah, well, just... I was looking at the top bowler markets and it's sort of, Steyn, Aussies.
Johnson.
Yeah, Stark, I think was the favourite Aussie, and then Johnson. But you get the pre-tournament odds are always huge, so...
We better get this jingle going because the new man is this guy. New Zealand on a team hat trick, and it's a letdown as Southie bowls wide, left alone by Piggy Smith. The captain incarnate for Australia joins the captain in situ. As we see a replay of Warner, he was beaten all ends up there. He played on the wrong line. I don't know if it jogged back terribly well. Just good bowling.
Didn't seem that much movement.
No,
I think it just came back off the seam just a little bit.
Just enough. He played it a bit like it stayed low, but I think he just chose to go back when he could have been stretching forward. Just an ideal length from Southie, and as it was proven to be trimming the bails, all it needed to be doing. This was full as well, but Smith does get a good stride out. He plays into the offside. But the Kiwis, you can see in the field there, Guptill, they're all charging around. I'm sure they'll be making a lot of noise. I'm sure the crowd are making a lot of noise, getting right into their big brothers from across the Tasman.
It's because it's quite a small ground, and the stands kind of angle in a little bit, so the crowd are very, very close in on the. It's apparently quite oppressive when you're out there in opposition.
Yeah, you can tell that. There are hat-trick jingles, we are told by the Bear. Well, it's a bit late now, mate, because there have been 2 balls gone, but we will bear that in mind. Bear that in mind again. Forward from Southie, it's driven nicely through extra cover from Smith. Hasn't timed it perfectly, and these alert fielders from the Kiwis. Of course it's McCullum, he drags it in. Anyone else?
He's probably got the gloves on as well, too.
Yeah, he chases down. He absolutely loves it. There's always someone there to greet him and sort of kiss his ass a bit and tell him how great he is, but he deserves it. Swinging a bit there from Southie, he's still getting this white ball to talk.
In fact, he was actually voted New Zealand Sportsman of the Year for 2014.
Quite right.
It was Sporting Performance of the Year for that 300 against India.
Oh yeah, quite right.
I don't really rate 300s against Indian bowling.
It was a pretty impressive. It was a very impressive innings given the circumstances of the match. I actually thought the double 100 against Pakistan the day after the Phil Hughes the incident happened, was more impressive.
Yes,
it's very good.
This was full lovely drive again from Smith, but he can't beat McCullum, the superhero himself. They get a single because he had to go full length to his left, but good cricket all round would be the chat from me if I would slip. Give everyone courage.
Yeah, three high-class cricketers involved in that.
Indeed, yeah. Did the old reverse palm stop.
Goalkeeper stop.
Yeah. So agile. It's one of those. There's not many fielders these days that, like a John D. Rhodes type fielder. You almost